Black history courses are being removed from school curricula. Schools are being mandated to stop teaching students about the truth of slavery, segregation, and racism in American history courses. Books about those topics are being banned in schools and public libraries. Museums, art centers, and other institutions whose budgets rely in any way on public funds are being prohibited from scheduling exhibitions and programs or from displaying materials promoting racial awareness or Black history. Much like the law that was put in place to regulate the punishment of the enslaved in Barbados, these policies are becoming a template for other governments as well as some private institutions. At the very least, they are slowly normalizing the erasure. They are slowly normalizing erasure.
They are slowly normalizing the erasure of Black history. Their slavery, Western people are slowly normalizing the erasure of slavery from their history. They have stopped the teaching of Black history in their school, slowly creeping it down, slowly erasing it. That's why the young people are no longer studying in school. Not just in Western world. It's also happening in Africa. We are no longer studying history in school. History is no longer being taught. This is the president of Ghana, John Mahama, who recently made a stance declaring in United Nations, declaring slavery in Africa as a grievous crime against humanity. Come on. This man deserves an award.
We have advanced the cause of justice, and we have done that so emphatically. Those who voted in favor, 123 member states of the United Nations. 52 abstained, and only 3 voted against. This is an emphatic victory for justice. And our ancestors, Africans, and all people of African descent are today honored that our humanity and our dignity have been restored.
An emotion that triggers so many of the members in the United Nations agree to it, that truly slavery in Africa is the grievous crime against humanity.
This success goes to all of you, but most of all it goes to those who people wanted to be forgotten. This has gone on a record, and the record of the universal body that we all accept, the United Nations, that this was the gravest crime against humanity.
A crime that involves people being maltreated, mishandled, enslaved. Some got killed, some thrown at the ocean while being transported. How many are we going to name? This man also went ahead and paid honor the ancestors who fought so hard. Just to remain in their land.
Thank you. I lay this wreath in memory of our ancestors who suffered the indignity of enslavement. May today mark a restoration of their dignity and their humanity. Amen.
That's good.
I'm just thinking, could this be that most Black Americans it could be. I'm just thinking that most black Americans are descendants of Africans. Most of their parents, grandparents are people who we are taking from Africa. Don't you think so? These are people who we are taking from Africa. It was a huge business for them. It was a huge business and lucrative business. Then everyone is slaving each other. Now Nigeria was contributing a huge number of slaves. Nigeria was contributing a huge number of slavery. They were packing people from different states of Nigeria, joining together with the ones they captured in other African nations, while transporting them outside the shore of Africa. In case you have not seen or know what really happened during the era of slavery in Africa, in Nigeria, here is a video. Let me play. It's gonna be a lengthy video, so you have to calm down and watch to the end, because this exposes how these people captured most Nigerians during the slavery, and is something you know, Ghana, like, it's not something you're gonna miss, because we all need to recall history. We need to know what happened in the past. How did our forefathers got trapped? How were they captured? Some of them, it will surprise you to know that some of our forefathers were being exchanged with some subjects, some objects like guns. And coupled with the fact that Africans, we are greedy. When we are being offered something, we can easily sell our brothers. And that was why it was so easy for them to carry out slavery in Africa. Anyway, it's going to be a lengthy video. Just calm down and watch this particular video to the end, so you will really understand how these people were able to carry out slavery in Africa and Nigeria specifically successfully. See you at the end of the video.
And we are at Seriki Faremi Williams Abbas Slave Museum, and the curator is going to take us around the museum. Follow me as I show you guys around. Let's go. Seriki Faremi Williams Abbas Court, Barracoon of 40 slaves cell. Let's go inside. You would not see this anywhere. Nobody's going to tell you the truth.
We'll start from there.
Okay. Yeah. This is our curator, so he's going to take us around. And this is the man that helped us to locate here.
Yeah. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Moshood once again.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name, ma?
Miriam.
Miriam. With that name, Miriam, I can't tell you where you come from. What's your native name, ma?
Me, I don't have one.
You don't have one?
I used to be a Muslim, so Miriam is a Muslim name.
Miriam is a Muslim name.
Yeah, my name is Miriam Oyakilome, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, what's your name, sir?
My name is Michael.
Michael, what's your native name, sir?
Abayomi.
Abayomi. With that name Abayomi, I immediately know that Abayomi is from the Yoruba. But with your name Miriam, I can't tell you where you come from.
It's an Arabic name.
With my name Moshood, I can't tell us where I come from.
Where are you from?
Moshood is an Islamic name. Anybody can be a Moshood. Okay. I just want you to know how powerful African names are. My name is Bamidele. Can you tell me where I come from with that name?
Yoruba land.
Yes. We African, we have a name that tells story, history, or directory. Through your name, someone can locate you. As an African, through your name, someone can tell you where you come from. But during slave era, slaves don't have identity. They bear their master's name or any name their master wish to give to them. Like when you buy a dog and you give your dog any name you wish to give to your dog. If the white men that is slave, our forefathers retain our forefathers' name, it will be very easy for the black Americans to repatriate back to their people. But because they don't retain their name, it's not easy for the blacks over there to trace their roots. The world know this compound as Brazilian Barracoon. Most slaves taken from this compound were being taken to Brazil, and most of them were Yoruba origin. Today in Brazil, there's a god mostly worshipped by the Yorubas called Yemoja. In Brazil, they call it Lemeja. Eshu, they call it Ezu. Iyalaka, they call it Akaraje. Shango, they call it Zango. That's why you know that there were Yorubas that have been moved from this compound down to Brazil, and they still practice the same culture. And Barracoon is a Spanish word. It means dungeon, storehouse, or slave cell where slaves are being kept. In this compound, we have a total number of 40 rooms. Okay. During slave era, 40 slaves were being kept in each room. Okay. 40 times 40, 1,600 slaves were being moved in and out of this compound every 3 to 4 months. And this compound belongs to Seriki Williams Abbas. This is the man in the senator. His birth name was Ifare Milekun Ifagbemi. How come the name changed to be Sediki Williams Abbas? This young man was captured at the age of 6 in a town called Jogarile in Ogun State during the Egbas and Dahomey War. He was captured by a slave trader called Abbas. Abbas was a black man, an Islamic scholar who lived in Dahomey. Abbas took this young man to Dahomey and made him a domestic slave. We have two categories of slave: the field slave and the domestic. The field slave work on the farm, the domestic work, yes, field.
Okay, field. Okay,
yes, the field slave work on the farm, the domestic work in the master house. Abbas used him as a domestic slave. Later, they sold him to a white man called Williams. Williams took Ifare Milekun to Brazil and gave him education. Through Williams, Ifare Milekun speak English, Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese. And while working for Williams, whenever Williams is going out for his business, he takes this young man along with him, consciously showing him his business. One day, Williams called him, "Young man, come, let me set you free on one condition. You work for me." And Ifare Milekun grabbed the offer as the only opportunity he has to be a free person. When Ifare Milekun left Brazil, he first settled at Lagos Island, then they called it Lagos Colony. He came to resettle in Badagry in this compound in the year 1840, when the second master Williams built this compound in the year 1840. Year 1895, Ifare Milekun was to ban Seriki Musulumi of Badagry. They made him the paramount ruler in Badagry. He ruled Badagry for 24 years. I will tell you much about him when we enter the museum. Let's see this other side. Okay. In the olden days in Africa, we have our own currency that we spend, our own money. If you have 100 naira notes, if anybody have 100 naira notes, I will show you some of this money I want to mention on that 100 naira note.
Which is 100
yes,
naira.
Thank you. At the back of this 100 naira note, we have what we call Manila. This two-core ring is called Manila, used by the Portuguese. This is Yala salt. It's like a precious stone, a white stone, and these are cowrie shells.
This is what?
Manila, Yala salt, cowrie shells, and tobacco that is for cigarette these days was used as currency then. Thank you. When the European came, they did see all these things I mentioned as money. So they bring in the idea of trade by barter. When they bring in the idea of trade by barter, if European give our forefather one ceramic bowl in exchange of 10 human beings as slaves.
Okay. One of these ceramic bowl. We call it breakable plate. 10 slave. We still have 5 plates I will show you when we enter the museum. A then gun, Yoruba call it Ibon was used in exchange of 40 human beings as slave. The mirror doesn't have specific number. The highest bidder get the prize. We call it bargain power. The big cannon gun, which is olden days bomb, was used in exchange of 100 slaves. The short one, 40 slaves. The bottle of gin was used in exchange of 10 human beings as slaves. They are not after the liquor in the bottle, but the design on the bottle. I'll show you a surviving bottle 1873 from Vienna, Austria. One umbrella was used in exchange of 40 human beings as slaves. The question is, we Africans or black man, what do we do with the den gun and the cannons? We use it to fight ourselves to get more slaves to sell to the whites. We sold ourselves into slavery. And these two doors have been here since 1840 when this compound was established. It's part of our monument. People all over the world come to see. Yes, since 1840. 1840.
Yes. So out of 40 rooms, 38 of the rooms are currently occupied by Sediki Williams Abbas' descendants. So the federal government met with the family in this compound that they should retain 2 cells the way it were. So they gather most of the relics and some of these items used in exchange of slaves in those 2 rooms for people all over the world to see. Let's go inside the rooms and see what we have inside.
Imagine your grandfather or great-grandfather or probably your father, your own father, being exchanged with gun, bottle, items, umbrella. You see how crazy it is. These people really did Africans dirty, man. They really did us dirty. But anyway, let's continue and do not forget to like and subscribe.
As small as it is.
Let's continue.
So you're welcome. Out of 40 rooms, we are standing in one of the rooms. All rooms are like this. Where we're standing here is called a waiting cell. This is where Europeans check slaves down to buy before they buy them. The same way we check animals before buying, the same way they check human being. They take the eyes, they check the dentition, they hit them in the stomach to nip their feet. Because their aim and objective is to take them to where they're taking them to work for them on the farm. So they need healthy slaves. Slaves above 35-40 are called macrons. European reject such slaves. Any slave rejected by the European, they don't return them back to where they were captured. They kill them or feed them to animals. And we have the inner room, which is called the dark room, where they keep 40 people. We are still going there. Here we have what we call ankle shackles. They used to join 2 slaves together while working on the farm. One in the leg of the first slave, one in the leg of the second slave. Shall we try it?
Okay.
Yeah.
On me?
No, we are not slaves.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this, and they insert this rod and put padlock here. Can I try to move with this?
Oh,
You drag me along with you. 2 people work with this for 18 hours on the farm, and they have 15 minutes to rest. They want to eat, drink water, pee, excrete. Within 15 minutes, they continue another for another 18 hours. These things are made of metal. It always puts wounds around the ankle. Nobody cares because slaves are property, and you can do anything you like with your property. The difference between a slave and your sunshade is because a slave has life. If you get angry, you can break your sunshade. The same thing to slave. If you get angry, you can kill your slave and nobody will ask you for that. And here is a surviving umbrella used in exchange of 40 human beings. This umbrella was made of wood, brass, silk, and cane. As heavy as this umbrella is, one slave boy have to put it on the head of the master as long as the master will stay outside. And if a slave boy is putting this umbrella on the head of the master, he should play with his shoulders not to disappoint him. Because if this umbrella should drop from the hand of the slave boy on the head of the master, they will behead the slave.
Hi, Jesus.
This umbrella was not designed for the sun, not for the rain, just to show your status in the community. You want to try the weight? You lift it from here to know the weight. About 30 to 35 kg. One person will hold it on the head of the master as long as the master will stay outside. That chain on that wall behind you there, and this chain in this glass here, they use it to kill the slaves. Then, when we enter the second cell, I will show you how to do lynching with these two chains. And this iron is called branding iron. What's your name again, ma'am?
Miriam.
If I'm Miriam's slave, my name should be Miriam. So Miriam will put this iron in the fire, red hot, and she uses it to write Miriam on my chest. If a woman, to write it at the back. What's your name again, sir?
Michael.
If Miriam should buy me today and brand me Miriam, if Michael should buy me tomorrow, Michael will have to brand me again. Miriam brand me today, Michael will have to brand me tomorrow because I've become Michael's slave. Let's go inside the dark room where they keep 40 people. Yeah. That's why we call it dark room. Dark room. These three glasses were not then. This is where they keep 40 people. 40 human beings in this room, 3 to 4 months. This is where they pee. This is where they excrete. Because of the odor, some will vomit. Even women or men have to do it on themselves here.
Hi.
40 people in this place, 3 to 4 months. That's the only ventilation they have. And there was a door here before they will lock the door. So they'll be here for 3 to 4 months. Let's see closely how many people have died in this kind of situation. That's why I do tell people, whenever we are here, we are not here to catch fun, but just to feel the pain the people in the past have felt, our freedom fighters. Here we have a surviving bottle used in exchange of 10 human beings as slaves. Like I said earlier, they are not after the liquor in this bottle, but the design on the bottle. Many people have asked me, where is the design on this bottle that was 10 human beings? If you put on your flash, you'll see the design on the bottle.
On your flash.
You can check it. That's the design. That was why they used it in exchange of 10 people. So that bottle represents 10 human beings because of that design you saw. And these are gramophone records used by Sediki Williams Abbas. These days we use cassette CDs. Most times we use our phone. And this brass was given to Sediki as a gift by the Brazilian when they made him the paramount ruler. And this kettle was given to him by the European. These are cowrie shells used in those days. Here we have surviving ceramic bowls used in exchange of 10 human beings as slaves. It doesn't matter the size. This was used in exchange of 10. Same thing applicable to this and the rest. So we have 50 human beings in this glass.
Oh.
Because Sediki was a Muslim then, this is where they keep his water for ablution, his soup pot, and his drinking pot. Let's see the second cell and see what's inside. So you're welcome to the second room. Like I said earlier, all the rooms are the same. A waiting cell and the dark room. Here's a local mannequin showcasing Sediki Williams Abbas cloth. The original cloth he wore the day they made him the paramount ruler. This is it here. And the chair he sat under as the chair over there. And here is punishment given to any disloyal slave. Any slave that refused the master order or refused to bear the master's name, this is how they tie them around the tree and beat them. During process, many died because they can't bear the pain. And these dogs are call-killer dogs. They use it to chase runaway slave. If any slave tries to escape from the farm, they release 20 of these dogs to attack one man. When they catch the slave, they devour the slave. Here's the movement to the point of no return. Chains on the neck, the hands, and the leg of the slave while going to the point of no return. 3,000 men on a row, on a single file. If the person in front should fall, the rest behind them will fall. If you are going to the point of no return, today, while going, you will see a well called Spirit Attenuation Well. The well water they give the slaves then that make them to lose their memory is still on that island. And here is the story building built for Sediki Williams Abbas in this compound, year 1847. It collapsed 1995. When we go outside, I will show you the remains of the building. These are some people captured as slaves but have opportunity to come back, like Santos Silva, Candido J. Darocha, Samuel Ajayi Krada, Jaja Ofokpobo, and some other people. The entrance door in this photo is the original door standing here, behind you. this door here. After the building collapsed, they moved the door inside this room. And these are some of the things that happened to our people during slavery. These are slave raiders. They want to capture this man, but he took knife and killed himself. That for me to be slave, I prefer to die. There was a woman like that, Margaret Garner. She killed 4 of her children and killed herself. That for me and my children to be slave, we prefer to die. This is what we call iron muzzle. They used to guard the mouth of slaves while working on the farm, for them not to eat from the farm product. They plant sugarcane. We derive glucose from sugarcane. Glucose gives you instant energy, and this white men believe that if these slaves should eat out of this sugarcane, they will have strength to fight back. They feed slave once in a day. Slave have access to water once in a day. They don't feed slave to increase in size or to stay healthy. They feed them to stay alive, don't just die. And this is another matchbox. We don't have many slaves used in exchange of the box. This is called Ashwetu by the Yorubas, used by Seriki Williams Abbas. Let's see another room for 40 people. Here we have a sample of the iron corrugated sheet they use in roofing this compound then, compared to the one they produce these days. If I try to fold this iron sheet, it won't. But the one they produce these days, I can fold and keep in my pocket. We've lost quality. The 2 chains I showed you in the first room, the one on the wall, the one in the glass, this is what they use it for. If they catch any slave having sexual intercourse on the plantation, planning coup against the master or trying to run away, this is how they hang the men, this is how they hang the women. They tie that chain I showed you around the ribs of the men, the hands at the back. They hang them on gallows. They suspend the legs from the ground. In this position, that chain will break the ribs. They'll be dripping blood from the nose and the mouth. They'll be here dying gradually. These are the hang the women. They are 2 hands up. They suspend the leg from the ground. The blood from the hand, the head, all over the body will come to the thigh. They get heavier and they will be here dying gradually. In the presence of other slaves, as you see them, they won't last a day. And here we have Seriki Williams Abbas relaxation chair. For someone to have this kind of chair in those days, it shows how prominent he was. And these are Seriki descendants. Currently, Badagry, if anybody is to be elect as Seriki of Badagry, the person should be from this family. And this is the current Seriki of Badagry. Let's see where Seriki Abbas was buried in this compound. This well was dug in the year 1847 by the slaves. If you look inside the well, they didn't use ring for the well. They used burnt bricks. So they set the bricks one by one. So it was done by the slaves. Burnt bricks. Okay. And the same burnt bricks they use in constructing all the rooms in this compound. In 1962, the family of Seriki Williams Abbas used cement to hold the walls. This place used to be Seriki Williams Abbas Court, where he passes judgment to the Muslims community and where he had meeting with any king in Nigeria that want to have meeting with him then. And this place used to be his chamber where he relaxed himself. That relaxation chair was inside this room then. We still have some rooms behind this. Let's see. So all these rooms were slave cell, but we have people living in these rooms now here. So all in total 40 rooms and 40 slaves in each, and all the rooms are the same: a waiting cell and the dark room. We can see sample of the burnt bricks around here. The story building that was built for Seriki Williams Abbas in the year 1847 that collapsed 1995 was standing here. This is the remains of the building. Here's the foundation. And all these rooms also were slave cell. When Seriki Williams Abbas died, this is where he was buried. Seriki Abbas died 11th of June 1919 and he was buried here. Sorry. 103 years ago that he died, he was buried here. Later, the Brazilian came back to build this mausoleum on his grave. Why? Because they see him as a loyal person. Someone that was captured as slave, later freed, and he continued the business because his master has asked him to continue the business. He was just like the 2IC for the master here. The master cannot be here and be in his hometown at the same time doing the business. So he needs somebody that he can trust, that will understand our people language here. That was why he sent Seriki down to Nigeria. And this is the tomb of the last son, Saka Ajao Abbas. He was given birth to 1913. He was at the age of 6 when his father died. His father was at the age of 6 when he was captured as a slave, and he died in 1987 at the age of 74. So you're welcome to Brazilian Barracoon. Do you have any question?
I'm so weak. I don't even know what to ask. Do you guys have any question? Like, my mentality has really changed coming here. A lot of things has changed, my mindset, and I was even emotional in there when you tried to use that stuff on my leg. I couldn't move.
I saw it in your eyes.
But
You almost dropped tears.
I almost did.
I saw it.
I don't know what to ask. Do you guys have any
If you don't have any question, maybe if you see some other museums, you may have questions. We still have like 4 other sites. Shall we?
We shall.
So, this compound used to be slave cell where they keep the slaves while waiting for the arrival of the slave ship. The slave ship will spend up to 3 to 4 months on the sea before getting to this place. So they'll keep the slaves in this compound for 3 to 4 months. That's why I said they moved 1,600 slaves into this compound and out of this compound every 3 to 4 months. And while taking them out, there was a road here before. So they'll cross them through this lagoon to the other side, and they will walk on that island. It is called Berefo Island before they take them to the point of no return. And while going by the right, we will see the Spirit Attenuation Well. If you wish to see the point of no return, we'll go.
Let's
everywhere.
go. We wish to. Hi guys, so we're going to the first story building, 2-story building, right?
Yes, that's 1-story building.
1-story building in Nigeria.
First story building.
When was it built?
It was built in 1845.
Okay, let's go inside and see. This is first story building in Nigeria, built in 1845. This is fun. That's how we're gonna do it.
So, you're welcome to the 4-story building in Nigeria. If you look at this compound, then we have total number of 10 buildings in this compound. Then other 9 buildings have collapsed except this story building that is still standing. When we enter inside this building, I will show you where those buildings were standing. Okay, if you look at this board, this signboard, they wrote boarding house. There's another one over there, schoolmaster house. There's another one there, the church, and there's one here, the kitchen. So this place that you see, these signs, buildings were standing there before, but they've collapsed. So we just put these signs to indicate that the building was standing there before. Let's go inside the building. Yes, now. So, you're welcome to the 4-story building in Nigeria. 4-story building built by Reverend C.A. Goma the first time. Reverend C.A. Goma first built this building in the year 1843. And this is what this building looks like then. When Reverend C.A. Goma built this building, he built it with planks, only wood. But when Reverend Henry Townsend came in, he rebuilt it with burnt bricks, the way it looks like currently. That was when Reverend Henry Townsend rebuilt this building with burnt bricks, and Reverend C.A. Goma with planks. Here we have some of the things they use in constructing the building. This nail, we all know this nail, right? But do we know these nails?
No.
No. They use these nails on the soft woods. They use this one on the hard woods. Okay. And in this glass, we have some old hinges they use behind the doors. These are the old hinges and sample of the burnt bricks they use in constructing the building. And here is the same iron corrugated sheet I showed you in the barracoon. There is another one here. And look at the foundation. You see that they use burnt bricks and they set the bricks one by 1. In this building, we have a total number of 6 rooms. We visit the first room. We'll visit another room. Now let me quickly show you. This is the geographical architecture map as it is in 1843. This is the story building, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the story building making 10. But these 9 buildings have collapsed, except this one that is still standing. So let's see the next room. In this room, we have a painting of a tree called Agia tree. Under this tree, Christianity was first proclaimed in Nigeria. When the missionaries came in, where can we preach the gospel to these people? And they discovered that many market women come under this tree to showcase their market. So they decided to preach this gospel under this tree. This tree lasted for 350 years. And after the fall of this tree, the government built this monument in replace of the tree. Okay. Yes. And this monument is no more there. They want to rebuild it. I'll show you if you want to see it when we are going. Okay, you've seen it.
No, we want to see it.
Okay. And this is the comment by Reverend Henry Townsend, the man who built this building. He said, "This house is strong and convenient and will prove very comfortable during the erection. Many persons have come to see it, especially of the single roof. It's been the first I have ever seen."
Same.
The person who built it, that was what he wrote. And here is a Christmas celebrated in Badagry in 1923. You can see these black men. They are the laborers working in this place then. You can see the road 1923, Badagry Mary Xmas. So let's see the third room. So this third room used to be the room of the first Western teacher.
Okay.
First teacher in Nigeria. This is him here, Mr. Claudius Phillips. He came in with the early missionaries. And the first set of students that were enrolled in the school, this man was the one who taught them how to read and how to write. They want our people to accept Christianity. And they discovered that these people don't understand their language. Okay. So they have to teach us how to read and how to write. Okay. And here's the first primary school. It's at the back of Mobile Filling Station. If you want to see the school, it's still standing. I'll show you if you want to see it. I'll take you there. And the first set of students that were enrolled in this school were 40 men. Not women, not children. 40 men. And each one of them spent 12 years in school. The youngest among them then was at the age of 46. And each one of them spent 12 years in school. I just imagine when my father would come back from school and tell me that our teacher flogged me because I don't know. Let's go. So this is the total estimated amount they used in constructing all the buildings in this compound then. $325.
Oh, pounds, sorry.
Yes, £325 to construct all the 10 buildings in this compound. Then let's go upstairs and see the room of Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. So you're welcome to the room of Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder, the man who translated the first English Bible to Yoruba Bible. And here is the first English Bible brought by the early missionaries, Reverend Henry Townsend, in the year 1842, because Reverend Henry Townsend came in the year 1842. And this is the first Yoruba Bible translated in the year 1845, 3 years interval. And this is the photo of Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder was also a slave. And here is his name. This is his birth name, Ajayi. This is the name given to him by the master, and this is the name of the master, Crowder. Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder, when he came back, he had a chaplain called Babington Macaulay. Babington Macaulay married to Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder's daughter, and they gave birth to a boy called Herbert Macaulay. Let's see the next room. In this room, we have the photo of Reverend C.A. Goma, the man in charge of the building. And we have the photo of Reverend Henry Townsend, the man who rebuilt this building the way it is. And this is the photo of Thomas Birch Freeman, the man who sowed the seed of Christianity in Nigeria. Let's see. Here is the cemetery of the early missionaries. Total number of missionaries buried here were 140.
Okay.
And this cemetery is not far from here. It's along the General Hospital Road. And the missionaries living in this room then, in this building then, they have their saving bank where they keep their valuables and money. And here we have some of the old currency we spent in Africa then. These are cowrie shells, and these are the coins we spent then before they introduced note. This is 1 naira note. This is Abat Macaulay. You can see.
Can you help us open it? Let's see. Okay. 1 naira.
Let me tell you a funny story about this 1 naira note.
Okay.
When I was young, my brother stole this 1 naira note from my father and he took it to school, thinking that he can finish this money just in a day. He went to school with this money. He bought things for his friend. He bought for himself. And this is a note. If you buy anything with a note, with this 1 naira note, then you come back home with coins. They'll give you coins as change. When he spent the money, he discovered that he still had many change with him. And when he was coming back from school, the coins were jingling in his pocket. And my father said, "Come, you stole my money." He said, "No. Where do you have those money with you?" Then this 1 naira note is just like 10,000 naira then, that one person cannot finish in a day. But these days, if you give me 100,000 now, I'll finish it within seconds. Let's go downstairs. We'll go downstairs and see the well called Miracle Well.
Miracle well.
Yes.
Is it the first well?
No, that's not the first well. We have many wells in Miami.
Let me help you. I can do it. Don't worry. Let me do it. This is the miracle well.
Yes, this is the Miracle
What does it do?
Well. This well was dug in the year 1842.
Okay.
And since this well was dug, it has never run dry, it doesn't change color, and it doesn't have taste. Many people visited this place, and when they hear about the water, they develop interest. Some people took this water home and prayed on it, and came back to testify that when they prayed on this water, it really worked for them. You can see these women here, they came to pray on this water and they will take it home. That was why they named it Miracle Well. Tourists named it Miracle Well, not the missionaries. Every other well water has iron in it, but this well water doesn't have iron. It's drinkable. This water is drinkable, and it serves the people in this area. Every other well water on this axis has connection with the lagoon water. If the lagoon is neat, every other well water will be neat. If the lagoon is dirty, every other well water will be dirty except this water. Do you want to try it?
Okay.
Shall we drink?
Yes, I want to. But we don't have time.
Okay.
I want to try it. Yes. How will I drink now? You put it on my hand.
Then in primary school, we stretch our 2 hands to drink water.
I'll just wash my hand and drink. Miracle water. Let me wash my hands first. I cover this water in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. As I drink, you will not cause harm to me. Let's go. Ooh, with my hair, let's go again.
Does it taste like well water?
No.
That's why they named it Miracle Well.
Don't taste like well water.
Ben,
It's just water and it's clean in my mouth, like the seaway water I drink. It's very clean.
So, shall we?
We shall.
Yeah. You're welcome to the four-story building in Nigeria. Let's proceed. We are through here.
We're done here.
Yeah.
Hi guys, this is day 2 in Badagry. So today we are going to the point of no return. We will return in Jesus' name. That's where the slaves were being taken to, and any slave that crosses this water and goes there never returns back to Nigeria. So let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Curator of the best curator of all time.
Good morning.
Morning. Guys, so we are here Badagry slave route. This is the route of the journey to unknown destination.
What does it mean? The route to unknown destination. When we get there, I will show everyone why we call it the point of no return and why we call it unknown destination. I won't tell you, but everyone will see it with their own eyes why we call it unknown destination. The way we move from that jetty to this jetty, we crossed on the water. Then the same way they move the slaves, but not with this kind of boat, but with paddle boats. And 3,000 men cannot stay in one boat. They will have many boats. So they will paddle the boats to this place. Then by dropping them, they will have to join everybody together. So they'll be on a single file. They call the movement single file. One line. Everybody will be on a single file, straight down to the point of no return, where we are going to. And they have shackles on their hands, the necks, and the leg. So the way we want to move now, we move freely because we don't have chains on our leg. Then they have to move like this. So if we are spending 30 minutes or 10 minutes to get to that place, let's imagine how many minutes they will spend in those days under hot sun and with heavy chains on their neck, the hands, and the leg. Okay. So, and they will still be flogging them. Most especially the person at the back. So let's proceed.
So what is this island called?
This island is called Berefu Island.
Okay.
And this island used to be the route they take the slave through. Okay. This is where our forefathers worked for 400 years because the slave trade lasted for 400 years.
Oh.
And this island has been in existence before Badagry. Badagry was found in 14th century, 1425 to be precise, okay, by a famous farmer on this island called Agbede. Agbede means blacksmith. Agbede has a farm across the lagoon over there. So whenever people from this village are going to Agbede's farm in Igbo language means grime. So whenever people are going to Agbede's farm, they will say, I'm going to Agbede Grime. Agbede Grime. From there, the Yoruba settlers, they can't pronounce Grime because it's not their language. So they pronounce it as Agbadarigi.
Okay.
So from Agbadarigi, when the European came in, they corrupted it and changed it to Badagry. Oh. From Agbede Grime to Agbadarigi to Badagry. So that was where the name Badagry came from.
So right now, how long are we going to walk? Because me, I'm tired. I'm not a slave. My leg, they pain me. We don't work out. And
no. We've not gotten to the spirit attenuation well.
Okay.
It's in the mid of the way.
The mid
of the way.
Okay. So that's the way that if they drink the water, they will lose their memory.
Yes. According to the story, Nigeria has largest supply of slave, 24%. Nigeria and Angola. Ghana has 16%. So it was told that it was because of this well that makes Nigeria to have that kind of supply. And when we get to the well, I will tell you much about the well.
Okay. No wahala, let's be going.
Yeah, I'm still going.
And don't, my leg they pay me, I'm not gonna lie. But let's keep going.
Yeah.
Anything for my lover.
But you are moving freely. But yes, then they have to move like this. And they'll still be beating them on that hot sun.
This is well. So why don't you want us to take bike? Why do you want us to feel the pains the slaves felt?
So I don't want us to use bike. If we use bike, it's easy. But if you don't use the bike, you feel what our forefathers felt then. But if you use the bike, you won't really get what you came for.
Okay.
So let's work on this route and let viewers at home see the kind of journey our forefathers embarked on with chains on their neck, the legs,
So you made mention about something about what the whites, they took the chains from our legs and...
I've observed that the white men, though I'm not a racist, I love the whites. Yes, I love them a lot. I love blacks also. I love everyone. God created everyone in his image.
Yes.
He didn't say black, he didn't say white, he didn't say Indian. So we are all one. But I've discovered that they've moved the chain from our feet into our brain.
Can you explain that, please?
How did they remove the chain from the feet to the brain? With some of these things they gave to us. Let's see. They stole our education, they stole our freedom, they stole our business, they stole everything. All these things we are facing right now in Nigeria are those things they were facing then over there. We are blessed here in Africa. Everything we need, we have it here. But these people, some of these things we have, they don't have it. So they want to get it as much as they want. And because of our own greed, our brothers' greed, they want to accept any offer given by those people. And that offer, we are not gaining anything from that offer. It's just like, there's a saying, they said, at the end of the tunnel, there will always be what? Light.
Yes.
At the end of the tunnel, there will always be light. But let's use that tunnel as an example. Tunnel is like a pipe. You enter from this edge and come out from the other end. Let's now bend the pipe into a circle. That's how they are ruling us. Those whites. Okay. How? Okay, let me say, if you bend a tunnel, you are moving around inside that tunnel. The tunnel is now a circle. You can't see the light. There's no way out. These people in us are on top of the tunnel. We are inside the tunnel. They keep telling us, keep going. You soon see the light. Keep going. And we don't know we are still moving. Okay, if someone should fall in that tunnel and we are still moving around, we come back and see that same person. But we saw when this person fell down here. So where is the way? Where is the light? Where are we going to? But our people are afraid to tell the truth. Why are we afraid to tell the truth? Why are we afraid to tell the truth? Everyone knows the right thing to do. Why are we not doing it? That's the question. Why are we not doing the right thing? I'll throw that question to everyone at home to answer. Why are we not doing the right thing?
Okay, no problem. Drop your answer in the comment section. Oh, my, don't tire. Waiting, where will they go?
We never reach halfway.
Eh? Oh, we go turn back. Or this research we don't do.
No.
Okay, guys, we are at the attenuation well. So what happened here? How did they discover this well? Who dug it? Was it a slave, or was it who did?
So you're welcome to the spirit attenuation well. The well water they give our forefathers then to make them to lose their memory and be less aggressive for 3 to 4 months. Why? This well was dug by the African chiefs. When the white men met with the African chiefs doing the business, that what can they do to avoid slave revolt on the ship? The African chiefs came together and they decided to dig this well. They dug this well, they added black magic in it.
Ooh.
So by taking the slaves from that jetty, the way we move to this place, but not as easy as we move. When they get to this place, they'll fetch the water and there's incantation they recite before taking the water. I will send you that incantation. So they will recite it. After taking the water, this is the last thing our forefathers remember. And they will move them down to the point of no return where we are going to. That black magic they added in this water will spend up to 3 to 4 months in our forefathers' brain. Because the ship will spend up to 3 to 4 months on the sea. It depends on the distance of the country they are taking them to. If the country is far, they will spend 4 months. If the country is close, they will spend 3 months. So for that 3 months, they won't remember anything. I just imagine that then, how would they feel when they get to unknown man's land? What do you remember? I drank water, and after that, what about you? I drank water, and you? I drank water, and they forgot everything. Now they will have new memory. So they forget everything here. And male domestic slave were mostly bred in Havana, Cuba. Havana, Cuba. And male slaves were castrated that time.
We're castrated?
They castrate the male slave because a white man cannot leave a black slave at home with his wife or daughter, so they have to castrate them. The male slave became huge and tall, so they use them as domestic slave. Maybe they want to carry something, they want to work on the farm, maybe there's an issue between the master and somebody, they will send that slave to go and fight. So that was how they use our forefathers. But out of the slaves that were castrated then, I was the only one that was not castrated, and you have opportunity to meet with me.
You were not there.
Proceed?
No, you were not there.
People were asking if I was there. I was there. I was giving birth to 1802.
He's just 27 years old, so he learned all of this. So let's go. We are going to the point of no return. Like I keep saying, we must return in Jesus' name.
Yes, because we are not slaves.
Yeah, guys. So we are at the place of no return. I don't know why. If I don't feel good, it is well. So what do you have to say about this place?
I welcome everyone to the point of no return. So this is where they take our forefathers, and from there they take them on the ship. Now the way we move from that jetty to this place, the same way they move the slave, but not as easy as we move, because they have charcoals on them. And when they get to this place, there will be many boats here also. The ship cannot come to the shore. The ship will park in the middle of the sea. That's not the middle of the sea, but where we see as the middle of the sea, that's where the ship will park. And they will bring many boats here. So they will arrange the slave in those boats, like 16, 17, 16, 15, 17. And the boats will take them to the ship. They arrange them in the boat. This is where our forefathers said bye to this country. And why do we call this place the journey to unknown destination? If you look at this water from that end round to this end here, if you look at it round to this end, I can't tell you if it is land that is after that water. You can't tell me if it is forest that is after that water. Nobody can tell us what is after that water. What we are just saying is water. So if I take you on this water, can you tell me where I'm taking you to?
No.
Only if I tell you that this is where I'm taking you to on this water. That's why we call it the journey to unknown destination.
See, why is that why the water is like this? Why is like that place is high?
That place is high and this place is low. That's how water looks like. So you're welcome to the point of no return. But we will return because we are not slaves. So you're welcome once again.
So we're going to the slave market now.
Yes. That is Blikiti slave market. Let's proceed.
Hi guys, so we are currently at the slave market. Slave market, right?
Yes.
So what were they doing here then?
Blikiti slave market. So this
What is it called?
Blikiti slave market. So this is where they sold more than 3,000 slaves every market days.
Every market days.
And we have what we call dungeon.
Sorry, can you increase your voice a little?
There's what we call dungeon here,
Okay.
underground cell.
Okay.
And you have privilege to see some of these things
Okay.
here. So let's meet our curator here.
Okay, this is our curator.
Nobody want to take us around.
Curator, hi. Nice to meet you. So what are you going to be showing us today?
I'm showing you the Badagry slave market. No.
Okay. So this, what you...
Okay. When he finished, he will tell us about these people. These are the people that witnessed the signing of the abolition of slave trade. I guess these are the missionaries, the missionary rules. This statue here tell us about the missionary rules.
Okay, can you go that way so you can take it very well?
Abolition of slave trade.
Okay, let him finish and come and tell us about it. Okay. Badagry Gallery.
Yeah.
Wow.
So over here you see some event that took place during the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
So we have over here we have part of a man spotted a British slave merchant spotted in slave ship in the slave era, heading towards Badagry to carry slaves. So that's what's happening over there. And over there we have King Mewu. Akran of Badagry.
Who was King Menu?
Mewu, a
Mewu.
slave trader.
Okay.
A slave trader. So he was discussing with the Europeans.
Okay.
You can see the Europeans picture here, and these are our own chiefs.
Okay, face it here instead. Okay.
So these are our own chiefs, and this discussion they have over here now led to what happened here.
Okay.
So the king now gave them portion of land over there in Gberefu. That is the point of no return.
Okay.
So to build their camp.
Okay.
So each European country with their camp.
Okay.
So for example, you see England.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
No. Let him finish it.
Okay.
So, for example, the English, England, all those in Spain with their camp. So each different country with their camp. So and over here we have Badagry warlord, Posu. The man Posu.
Okay. Badagry warlord,
Yeah,
Posu.
Baba has told you about Posu over there before.
Okay.
So Posu, he led an attack on Port Novo around 1783. So to capture slaves. So and this slave boat in Ketonu, Benin Republic. So over here we have slave tunnel in Ganho quarters, Badagry.
Okay.
So this is the slave tunnel.
Okay.
So and over here we have the Badagry slave port, which was established in 1510. So this is the spirit attenuation well on the way to the point of no return.
Yes. Okay.
So the water they gave them to lose their memory or to make them less aggressive. So and this is King Adele of Lagos, who took asylum in Badagry around 1821 to 1835 after he was dethroned by his own brother.
Okay.
So, and this Topa, that is port, was named after the king. That is Adele Topa, popularly called Badagry Waterfront now.
Okay.
So, and over here we have Thomas Jefferson Bowen, the man who saw some slave being marching from the suburb of Muwo, Badagry. So he now later reports that, and this is the arrival of Hugh Clapperton and Richard Lander to Badagry. So they have been welcomed by Badagry chiefs. The man that was tried outside, Hugh Clapperton and Richard Lander, this is their arrival.
Okay.
So over here, this is the Portuguese now reporting the arrival of Richard Lander and Hugh Clapperton to the then king.
Okay.
So reporting them that they are British spy, this and that.
Okay.
So
what of the one down here?
So this is Nigerian colonial town of Badagry, one of the African first slave ports that was established in 1851.
Okay.
So this over here we have the main purpose Richard Lander visited Badagry is to propagate a legitimate trade around it. After the signing of the abolition treaty in 1807 in Europe.
Okay.
So that is the main purpose he was in Badagry.
Okay.
So that's what they are discussing over there. And over here we have a tank crier. You know, in olden days, you hit metal gun to pass information to the people. So that is what is happening here now. Okay. So in 1888, this guy here is hitting the gong, passing information to the people of Badagry that there is no more slavery in Badagry land.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Okay. All right. So over here, we have some things that are used in capturing slaves. Okay. We have the shambets, we have the chains, we have the African drums, and some pictures that talks about how they capture them. Over here, the shambets were used by the slave hunters. Okay. So they use this shambet to invoke some spirits on themselves, because when they wear this shambet, they believe they will have some, spiritual power, and they will drink some concoction with a special cup over there. So over there, we have the original slave chain and the liquor. The liquor is the gin that they use in exchange of human being. So all these things over here are medium of exchange. While we have the African tallest drum. So over here we have the tallest drum in Africa. So this drum were usually beat by the stick workers. They call them angere in Yoruba language. The stick workers, and this drum, all the carvings on them are depicting the pre-colonial era down to the slave trade era. So all the carvings, you'll be seeing them. These are some of our men, you know. These are people on the water sailing the boats. These are your masquerade.
Okay.
We have them, we have the Oba. And this is the transatlantic triangular slave trade. So all this carving is talking about the events from the pre-colonial era down to the transatlantic slave trade era. You can see from the transatlantic slave trade era, there's no much events that took place anymore. So, and over here we have how the slaves were being, transferred from the hinterland down to the slave markets. From Oyo, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, and the rest. And over here we have the needless, victim of the needless during the transatlantic triangular slave trade. These are some slaves. And over here we have the Voduno, that's the chief priest of the Vlekete shrine, performing some rituals for the slaves before they went back on the journey through the Atlantic Ocean. You know, the shrine itself is a goddess of winds, ocean, and prosperity. So this is how they appeased the goddess before they went back on the journey. And over here, this was how Samuel Ajayi Crowther was captured in his own town called Oshogun, that's present Oyo State, in 1821. So let's move down to slave market around the world. So these are sugarcane plantation. How they were
Slave market.
plantation.
Okay, ma'am.
So welcome guys, welcome back. I hope you guys really enjoy that video. I hope you guys, it's been an hour riding with you, and as you can see, after everything our forefathers Africans passed through, after everything the ancestors passed through, and somewhere people are trying to erase the history. People are trying to erase the past, the black history, what Africans passed through. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And I thank God today, through the courageous move made by the Ghanaian president John Mahama, and the United Nations, we are able to recognize slavery as the grievous crime against humanity. Yeah, it was a huge crime. It was a crime that till eternity everyone should remember. Even as the next generation are coming, the history should be made available to them to study it. History, as I said before, the reason why history is very important as much as black history, the reason why it is very important is also to be aware, and also not to make such mistakes again in our daily activities. It also helps in preventing racial abuse, racism, and all form of discrimination, among people in the society. It's very important. So I commend the president of Ghana, John Mahama, once again for such a bold decision. Championing the slavery, championing the motion. And as you see how people celebrated him, almost everyone online celebrated him, congratulated him, and it's a victory for Africans and all blacks, around the world, because most blacks in America today or other Western countries, most of them are, in my own opinion, I would say most of them are from the indigenous of Africans, people whose grandparents or parents were victims of these crimes, committed many years ago, So, and I thank God and thank you all for staying tuned to watch this video and understand what's happening in our society and why we need to remember this crime every year, as the United Nations said every 25th of March as a day for remembering black slavery, remembering slavery globally around the world, and we'll continue to do so. We'll continue to honor our ancestors. We will continue to remember those that got killed, those that we are throwing into the river, into the sea, into the ocean, And I say, may God continue to help us as we protect this our beloved history. And to you that are watching this video, I thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. And do not forget to like and subscribe so YouTube can push out this video for every other people to see and watch as well. Thank you. My name is Bright Tobias. What we do in this channel is talking about Africa, bringing African stories, African geopolitics, and everything relating to Africa. That's what we do here. We are trying to bring Africa to the map. We are trying to place Africa to the map, and definitely we'll achieve that. Thank you once again, and may God bless Africa. Thank you.